The majority of intermediate guitarists are wasting a massive amount of time in the practice room on useless exercises. And really, it's because they aren't aware of these 3 core concepts that will change their playing forever. In this lesson, I'll show you exactly what these 3 exercises are and how to practice them so you can start making real progress with less practice time, starting right now. Let's jump in. As always, you can download the diagrams and backing tracks from the link in the video description below. Lesson part 1. Now, one of the most common traps I see guitarists fall into is the classic spider exercise. And yeah, I believe in improving finger dexterity, but here's my recommendation. Don't do the spider. At least not the classic 4-finger one. Why? Because you will never actually play the majority of those finger combinations in real music. Let me demonstrate. So the classic spider is just the different finger permutations of 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 3, 2, 4, etc. There are a total of 24 variations. But I will almost never play anything like that in real music. So why should we waste valuable time wiggling our fingers through exercises that you won't actually use? Here's what I recommend instead. Practice 2-finger and 3-finger versions of a similar exercise. These are patterns that you will absolutely see and use in real playing in every single moment. Let me walk you through this. Start by making sure that you know all of the classic 2-finger combinations. Ascending, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 2, 4, and 3, 4. And don't forget descending. 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 2, and 4, 3. Now, here is the key for both 2 and 3-finger patterns. Don't just run them up and down or just across the neck in a straight line, like across the fretboard. That is truly not useful. Instead, use a drum track instead of a metronome and start practicing making choices immediately. Make them musical, and I would recommend just practicing each of them for 30 seconds per finger. Let me show you how I would do that. So drum track on. Basic groove, you could choose 1/8 notes, quarter notes, triplets, 16ths. Start anywhere on the fretboard and make those choices. 1, 2. That's a little slow for me. Let me try triplets. And notice how I'm moving freely around the fretboard, just paying attention to make them sound connected. 1, 3s. And I would really probably even time myself. 1, 4s. Trying to make them connected. It's a little tough on one string like that. 2, 3s. Maybe even 16th notes. 2, 4s. Right? And then 3, 4s. And then I would do all of those backwards as well. 2, 1. 3, 1. Again, 30 seconds each. 4, 1. Find little patterns that I like. 3 2s, 4 2s, and finally 4 3s. Once your 2-finger patterns are feeling a bit comfortable, move into those 3-finger patterns. These are a bit more challenging, especially because they use an odd number of notes on each string, which makes you alternate each string with a down and then an up on the next string. This approach to the spider exercise is where you start training your improvisation muscle, not just your fingers. And now for a quick break from the sponsor of the video today, my newest course, Creative Solo System. If you're liking these exercises and you enjoy this kind of instruction on how to organize your practice and get the most out of your time, check out Creative Solo System. This is a course designed to take intermediate guitarists from shaky to confident in their soloing and creative guitar playing. You'll get step-by-step instruction, clear practice guides, and exactly the tools that you need to take your playing to your dream level. As a thank you for watching this video, go ahead and click the link in the description to get $80 off the course today. So the next area that I want you to focus on is your fretboard knowledge. This is absolutely one of the most essential things that you can work on daily. It is not flashy, but it's one of the biggest game changers in your guitar playing. Now, I know a lot of players avoid this because they've opened up a guitar book and seen like a terrifying diagram filled with every single natural note, every sharp, and every flat all across the fretboard, right? Well, that is overwhelming. Let's simplify. So the most important part is that we want to start with just the natural notes. That means the notes that are in the key of C major or A minor. No sharps, no flats. And the best way to work on this is using a drone or a one-chord vamp, which you can download from me in the description below. So I'm gonna use a simple, just C major backing track in this video, and that's going to keep things musical as you learn the fretboard. Here are 3 ways that you can practice every day to learn the natural notes on your guitar neck. 1 string at a time. So you want to take all 6 strings individually, say the notes out loud while you play them up to the 12th fret and back. I'll start on the high E string. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Make sure to turn around. Ready, go. E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E. Now, here's something important. If that is too hard at first, try repeating each note 4 times each, like this. E, 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 F. Then to G. Okay, once that's feeling good, you then do 2 times each. E, F, G, A, B, etc. So eventually work down to just 1 time per string. Now a second great exercise to do this in order to really improve your skills is called jumpin' thirds, also known as skip 1, back 1. So you're gonna stay on 1 string at a time, but you might choose a different string, right? You wanna do every string individually. But now what we're gonna do is we are going to play every other note. E to G, F to A, G up to B, A to C, B to D, C, E, D, F, and E, G. So you skip over a note and then go back 1, and you absolutely want to say them out loud while you go. And what I would recommend is go as far up the neck as your guitar allows. This guitar has 22 frets, so I would try and do the entire thing. E, G, F, A, G, B, A, C, B, D. And then it's really, really incredibly important. Whatever goes up must come back down. Most guitarists are weaker at descending. So always make sure to practice your fretboard patterns in both directions, ascending and descending. And you want to do that with that track that you can download. 2, 3, 4. E, G, F, A. You could take each more time on each note if you'd like, but B, B, C, E, D, F, E, G, F, A, G, B, A, C, B, D. You could go back down and turn around like this. D, B, C, A, B, G, A, F, G, E, F, D, E, C, D, B, A, C, A, B, G, A, F, G, E. This will help immensely. Again, you want to do each and every string every day. So a third way to practice that I highly recommend is to find each note on every string. So you're going to pick one natural note, like let's say A, and we'll find it on all 6 strings. For example, on the low E string, we've got an A at the 5th fret and also at the 17th fret. On the A string, we've got open and 12. D, we've got the 7th and then plus 12 up to the 19th. Right? G, we've got the 2nd and the 14th. B, we've got the 10th and the 22nd. And then the high E is the same as the low E, so we've got the 5th and the 17th. Now that might take you a little bit more time, but by choosing and finding each of those, you start to improve your fretboard knowledge across the entire guitar neck. This is the kind of work that builds long-term fretboard fluency, and it only takes a few minutes a day. Lesson part number 3. My favorite part, creative practice. If you're trying to get more expressive and musical in your playing, you need to be doing improv exercises based on constraints and limitations, not just noodling around. But the cool thing is, this is the kind of practice that can be really, really fun if you know how to make it fun. So start by picking a backing track. Again, I've got one for you down there in the description, and a scale you're comfortable. So in this case, we're gonna use just the C major scale, and I made you a nice little track that goes C major, A minor, F major, G major. The C major pentatonic scale is going to sound perfect. So we're gonna do what I call practicing a creative limitation. Here's an example. Let's say I've been struggling with connecting slides. So I'll turn on the backing track and I'll spend a couple minutes forcing myself to only play slides. Let me demonstrate that. Okay, so we've got short slides, we've got long slides. The biggest thing about slides, or really playing in general, is you want to make sure that they're connected. You want to try different rhythms, try different lengths of time that you might hold on to a note. But you're playing creatively, but you're trying to make music too. It's important to do things like vary the rhythm, but most importantly, you want to keep it musical. Let's say if speed was your weakness. Okay, you don't want to just practice slowly and hope that the speed comes. That's like telling a sprinter to train by walking. Instead, you want to practice fast. You want to target the tempo or beat division that is tough for you and even beyond your current limits. So one technique that I love is the additive rhythm method. So for example, if I'm struggling like keeping up with the tempo, although this is not that fast, there could potentially be a faster track that you might be struggling with. But what I will do is I will build on with the additive approach. Let's listen to this and do a little counting. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Let's say I was struggling with 16th notes, right? So the count would be 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. It's definitely not slow by any means, right? And let's say I just couldn't keep it together. What I could do is use the additive approach to make it work for me, okay? And what I would do is just start with just 1 E and a, like this. And I would mix up the notes. Remember, I'm trying to play creatively, not just the same thing over and over. And I'm playing in just classic box 1. Okay, so then I'm gonna try 2 beats worth of 16th notes. It's gonna be 1 E and a, 2 E and a, like this. Okay, as I build into this, I can try 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. trying to look for the music in there, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm challenging myself and I'm on my edge, but I'm, you know, not just playing really boring stuff. Finally, I would expand that into 4 beats. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and then I would rest for a measure. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 2, 3, 4. It's kind of amazing. You start to find some really nice music all while you're working on pushing that tempo. And the cool thing is, you could even take your track and start to crank the tempo up with something like, you know, Transcribe or Amazing Slow Downer. Now that you've learned these 3 incredibly powerful practice strategies, make sure to watch this video next in order to learn the 3-fret shift, how to break out of the boxes and connect across your entire fretboard with ease.